It's now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, iTunes, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. Mike brings you great guests and interesting people from all across the globe. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another great episode of the Mike Wagner Show.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at Facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, and Apple. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device and subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. We're here with a wonderful singer who was born in Dayton, Ohio, then moved on to Phoenix in Arizona. I mean, if you heard the song Finally, which was a big hit in 1991, hit number 5 in the U.S., number 2 in the U.K., and sold 3 million copies worldwide. Keep on Walking and more as well, too. She was also Miss Black Arizona in 1989, Miss Galaxy in 1990, and also she's also been in a lot of causes ever since then. We'll touch on that. And right now, we finally have the ultimate singer who's made finally the anthem of the 90s. So finally we have, ladies and gentlemen, live from wonderful Phoenix, Arizona, CeCe Peniston. CeCe, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Hey, what's going on, Mike? So happy to be on the show today.
Hey, that's what's going on. So finally, as they call it here, we'll talk about your hit. I mean, just a great story behind it. So you're born in Dayton, Ohio, and you moved on to Phoenix, Arizona. And, of course, you also been in pageants as well, too. Miss Black Arizona in 1989, Miss Galaxy 1990. And, of course, you also got into singing as well, too. You got discovered in a very unique way. Your song finally hit number 5 in the U.S., which peaked number 2 in the U.K., sold 3 million copies worldwide, and of course that's the staple of the 90s. And before we get into all that, tell us how you got started.
Basically, you know what, I was doing a lot of shows around Arizona. And when I was younger, I started off with like talent shows and stuff like that. In fact, let me go back further than that. I started off with doing a play. From doing the play, it was called HMS Pinnacle when I was like 11 years old. I was like, oh, this is my home. This is what I want to do, right? And so I started doing shows around Arizona, and I started doing like talent shows. And you know how you win those little $300 on the weekend, like, yes, new school clothes, you know what I'm saying? So it was like, I got really excited about it. And I was like, this is what I want to do with my life. I want to be a star. And I told them when I was 11, I said, I'm going to have my name up in lights one day. And they were like, yeah, right, go play. You know how kids talk. So it went from there. So I started in Arizona, got my start. People knew my name from doing shows here, and that led to me doing my first single, which was Give It All You Got.
Give It All You Got. Okay, so, tell us about that song as well, too. And, of course, the song that hit number 5. And, talk about that song first and talk about how'd you come up with the song finally?
Definitely, I will. My first experience being in the studio was Give It All You Got, Marvelous JC. I went in the studio with him. And actually I went one other time, but it was like for a slower song. It was like a quick little setup. But Give It All You Got was my first official song that I put out with Marvelous JC. That led to me doing the background vocals for Overweight Pooch, who was on A&M Records with I Like It, Female Preacher, and Kicking the Blues. And then what happened is they said, hey, we love your voice. They love that little, that that little part I got. And they were like, we love that. What is that? And I said, well, actually, it was a little signature thing that I made up. And I was like, they're like, we love that. They said, and do you have any other songs? And I said, yeah, I have this poem that I wrote. And they were like, well, what is that? I said, it's a song, it's called, it was turned out to be Finally. And they were like, we love it. We want to record it. I said, bet. We recorded it. They loved it. And all of a sudden, probably about 6 weeks later, they called me and say, you're a star. You're about to travel the world. And I was sitting there with my mouth open like, okay, what does that mean? I was 21, so, I didn't know what that meant at the time.
Wow, that is something, too. And what was the one moment that influenced you into getting into singing? The one precise moment.
The one thing was hitting the stage when I was younger, around 11 years old, and it just felt like home to me. I can't explain it to you. And my mom was like, first of all, I didn't even know you could sing. I was like, neither did I. I said, the teacher told me to try out for the show. And she was like, we would love for you to try out. And I was like, sure. I don't know why you picked me, but okay. That's me not knowing I could sing. And then when she found out I could sing, she was like, I'm taking you to every talent show that you want to go to. And we just started doing it, and that's how one thing led to another.
Wow, that is something. And who are your favorite artists and singers growing up while younger?
Oh, my God, I love Patti LaBelle. I love her because she's just so, she won't let you, she'll just go with the moment. Whatever happens, she just rolls with it. And I feel like I'm like that, too. Like, I've seen her on stage and people were centipeding and giving her flowers. And so I remember that, centipede, remember that? And people were doing all the pop locking. Mm-hmm. And she just was having fun with the crowd. And I said, I love that about her and her voice. Shaka Khan, she just got she's her tone is just so amazing, and her inflection and just the way she ends her notes, just all that. I love her style and everything. Luther Vandross, Stevie Wonder. I could go on and on because there's so many people that I really, really love, and there's so many different reasons why. And I feel like all of those people, like especially even Donna Summer. They used to call me the Queen of House and Dance, and Donna Summer was that when she came out. She was, doing the same thing, and she shaped society and the world into a place of really loving 80s music.
That is amazing, too. And we'll talk about some of your theater as well, too. But first, listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs at below the competition way. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on themikewagnershow.com. You can check our Facebook page at facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, Apple, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device and subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. We're here with singer CeCe Peniston, songwriter, and more. She had that big hit Finally, which hit number 5 in the U.S., number 2 in the U.K., sold 3 million copies worldwide. And we're going to have CeCe Peniston back in a Skype video interview, which we're scratching the surface, and we'll go more into depth in this fantastic singer making a comeback. And you also appeared in theater as well, too, like The Wiz, Treat Her Like a Lady, When a Woman Falls, and more. And just tell us about your theater experience. What's it like?
It's funny that you asked me about that. I really, I enjoy singing by myself, doing stage shows more than plays at the time when I did it. I enjoy doing movies more than just doing stage plays. And I think because it's like the stage plays are live on stage, and you have to play off of other people, which you do in movies as well, but you can reshoot, I guess. It's like stage is live and movies isn't. So you get the opportunity to shape it in a whole nother way. But it was cool because I feel like it kept me on my toes. Someone will say a line, you're like, that's not the line, but I better say the next line because the person's waiting on me to say the line. So it was a lot of fun. We played practical jokes on each other, like constantly on stage. Like they blacked out their teeth and I had to walk down the staircase and almost fell because I'm sitting there laughing at them in The Wiz. And they smiled at me and like they've got the 3 front teeth like knocked out in the front, and I'm sitting up there crying tears, trying to sing like, are you guys serious right now? So it was fun. Great cast of people.
That was amazing too. You're also in Treat Her Like a Lady as well too, and just tell us about that one.
You know what? I wasn't on that one as much as The Wiz. I did a few shows there. It was kind of a different show. I wasn't out as much because my schedules wouldn't coincide with when they were doing the show. But the other one, The Wiz, I did a lot of shows, and I enjoyed that cast. It was me and People Bryson. Grace Jones was like Eveline. So you already know how that went. She was doing the most, and we loved it. And then it was People Bryson, Tony Terry, Kamiko Hebron, and Tasha Scott. It was a great cast of people. So like I said, it was fun. I enjoyed that.
Wow. And of course, getting back to some of the albums as well, too, Thought You Knew, you released that in 93, as well as the other one, too, I'm Moving On. You can just tell us about those. It's like you were big in the 90s and you took some time off. And let's talk about your 2 albums as well, too, which, still carry some weight.
Thank you. You know what? Finally was I would say, my best moving album, but there were great singles off of the other albums, at least the second album. By the second album, I felt like, people wanted me to duplicate what the first album was. And I'm like, the first album was the first album. I said, for some reason, we had a big old pot of stew and we decided to throw stuff in there and say, hey, let's see how this sticks. And it was funny because on that one album, finally, we had dance music, we had ballads, I had R&B music, and people still loved it. It wasn't like how it is today where it's like, pick a genre. That had like 3 different genres on it, 3 or 4. And it just worked. I don't know why, but it just did. The second album was like, hey, duplicate what you have. And so there was a couple of things like Not Over You, Keep Giving Me Your Love. They liked that one. It went really well over in London. I'm in the Mood did really well. And then moving on, things kind of started fading differently. I was trying some different things, and music was fading into a different area. So by that time that Moving On came out, it wasn't that it wasn't a good album. It just wasn't promoted, and it was not a heavy dance album. So people kind of took like kind of a weird stance on that third album because they felt like I was like, are you still doing dance music? I'm like, yeah. But I did R&B too. You should be familiar. I'm just doing something different. But
and of course, do you think do you think maybe the transition from dance music over to regular music, how you feel? Do you think that affected sales in every way? It's like you wanted to change, but then the public was not receptive to it. That's what it sounded like.
Oh, of course. On the third album, I don't think they were as receptive, but to me, it wasn't foreign because you guys had just heard "Keep on Walking, I Ain't Talking to You." Hold on. And then I had I'm Not Over You, Gigi. I'm sorry, my dog.
Hey, Gigi. Hello, Gigi. And
I'm sorry about that, news people.
That's okay. You know what? I think Gigi'd be a great guest with you on the video version of it. So like, have him on. Maybe she can sing finally or something in dog language.
There you go. She will do it too. She is a little thing. She is just a little rebel. I'm telling you. But basically, what happened is I feel like on the third album, it wasn't that I was doing something so different, but music was moving. And I was like, hey, I just want to do this. But people, they weren't receptive. Like now, it's so different because I can put out an R&B song and put out a dance song in 3 weeks. And they'll be like, okay, so what? Because it's like the artist can be their own record company now. And the way that people are now, they get more bored with music. Then it was like you had to be intentional on picking a single because it's like, we got to pick one that we're going to work because I guess finally was on the charts and a lot of people don't know this for like 33 weeks. And you don't get 33 weeks and you just don't get that. Like that just doesn't happen like that.
Wow.
That you get 33 weeks on the charts. In fact, people don't, like then it was like you had to buy the whole album to get the songs. And then we moved in, remember, to buying singles and now it's like, well, I'll just stream it. You know what I mean? So it's just a different market now.
And do you think streaming would be a lot better for your style of music than it was with the albums? Do you think the streaming of your songs would be a lot easier for you?
It just depends on what it is. I feel like people, if you know how streaming works, then it works for you. If you don't understand the music business and the current situation of what it is, then you tend to lose because a lot of the record companies, they are operating differently. If it's major record companies, if you see now, like we don't have a lot of major record companies anymore. Not as much. Everybody's a lot of independent. So if you know how to work the system and understand it, you can make it work for you, but you have to understand it. Plain and simple.
And also we have to work a lot harder as well too to get it known. So kind of like a two-way street. It's easier, but then you have to really get the word out too. So a lot has changed since the days in the 90s. And of course, just one more question about the song "I'm Moving On." And what was a lot of the music happen in personal life, or was it direction you're going to try, like away from dance lyrics into say something what happened at the time, or social issues, or anything like that, or just like telling stories?
You know what? Sometimes it was something that directly deal with me. Sometimes it was like me talking to my girlfriends and saying something like, she was like, girl, yeah, I went through that. And then I started writing about it. I write poetry on my off time a lot at night when I can't sleep. Because, artists, we don't never sleep anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just some was personal experience. Some were just, my friends saying they went through stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Or someone else bringing a song. Someone will bring a song to you that no one wrote in your camp.
Right, exactly. And, of course, we'll also get to what's been happening with you as well, too. And we're scratching the surface. We'll do a full-blown interview on Skype as well, too, later on the Mike Wagner Show. You listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs at below the competition way. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@SonicWebStudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at Facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, and Apple. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device and subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. We're here with singer-songwriter CeCe Peniston from Dayton, Ohio, now living in Phoenix, Arizona. She is known for her big hit from the 90s song Finally, which hit number 5 in the U.S., number 2 in the U.K., sold 3 million worldwide. She also won a number of awards. We'll get to that in our next interview. You also did some charity work as well, too, and you founded LOTS, which is alias CeCe Peniston Youth Foundation. So tell us, what does LOTS stand for, and what's the foundation about?
It's uplifting others to succeed. And I made it up because I feel like God always blesses us with so much, and I feel like definitely when you're blessed, you're supposed to give back to those in the community. It's just a part of what I feel like real world, like real music really should be. You know what I'm saying? And how you should be as a person. And so I made it up to help people who, like, I gave 2 events, and I gave kids instruments and guitars, and I had people give me other instruments that I repurposed and gave back to some different entertainers. We've given computers. I've helped families in need. We gave food boxes, backpacks, DJs who was there, and, just for camaraderie. So we just try to do things within the community, especially when I'm home and have more time. This year I was busy and didn't get to plan as much, but I just try to make sure, like, when people, have me for charities, that I'm available.
That is amazing. And where can people find your charity?
I'm online right now. It's funny that you asked. I'm getting ready to do the website coming up very shortly. I've done the work as far as giving back to people, but I just didn't have the website up. So I'm going to start putting up the website information so people can reach me separately on the LOTS Foundation and see the things that we do.
That is great. We'll talk.
I can help more.
That is great. We'll talk about that next time as well, too, and get more information. Also, you've been involved in the PTA as well, too. That's very important to you. Can you tell us about that?
You said, what's it one more time?
The PTA.
Oh, you know what? That was great. They made me an ambassador for the PTA, and it was awesome because I was just like, man, I get to work with kids. I used to go to where they had readings for kids, like reading books, and the other stuff was I did performances that I always gave back. And my grandma was big on education, and so she was like, baby, make sure whatever you do, you get your education. So that's when I asked me to be an ambassador. I loved it.
That's great.
That was through Byron D. Garrett. Thank you so much.
That is great, too. We'll go more into that in depth next time as well, too. And just a few more things here, and we're scratching the surface with CeCe Peniston, and you'll finally get to hear the whole thing as well, too, on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. And the video version will give you all the details and should tell you all about it as well, too. And what's coming up briefly in 2020 for you? What are your plans?
You know what? Actually, I'm getting ready to, like I said, I'm getting ready to launch the new website for the LOTS Foundation. The other thing I'm getting ready to do is I'll be doing more shows. I have shows already slated for London, already coming up, and for some other venues. Hard Rock Cafe, I did the ABC Disney shows, which people can still catch on TV with ABC7 because they're airing it like 30 times. So you can catch us on the float with Lifeway. And I'm excited about that. And then new music. And then I have a reality show in the works. I just signed the NDA and the LOI, so we should start shooting for that really soon, which people will be able to see me on. So a lot of good stuff. Still performing, still moving, doing what I love to do.
It sounds great, too. We'll talk more about that as well, too. And just lastly, who do you consider biggest influence in your career?
Wow. You know what? I would say my mom, she's not here anymore. She passed in October of last year, but I would tell you she was definitely my angel up there. I said, she must have some damn wings up there.
Mm-hmm.
I said, because she is running stuff up in heaven. Heaven must have lost one. You know what I'm saying? Heaven must be missing angels, because she's definitely helping me out. And because she was a dancer before I started being a singer.
Mm-hmm.
And so she understood the grind and my dream of what I wanted to do, and she let me be that person, and that's what I love. So that would be her.
That is amazing, too. We'll talk more about that. And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
I would tell somebody, never give up on your dreams. Always do vision boards. I do vision boards because I map out my whole year. Don't tell people what you can't. Don't let people tell you what you can't do. Use a no to the yes.
Mm-hmm. That is amazing. And CeCe, I'm looking forward to having you on the Skype video version very soon, and perhaps you can get to sing for us as well, too. We'll go more into depth about what you got planned and some of your past works and everything else. Just look forward to seeing you and your pet Gigi as well, too. And and in the meantime, just tell us quickly what your upcoming projects, what's your website, how do people contact you, where can people purchase your music?
Okay, definitely. I have a new single out on iTunes right now called Silly. It's a duet with Co-Sound. We're getting ready to put out a quick Christmas single. We put out, there's a snippet of it on the float. I did a remake of What Christmas Means to Me. The other thing is they can reach me at www.CeCePeniston.com or management@CeCePeniston.com if they're interested in booking me and looking at new pics. I have a brand new YouTube channel that we had launched. My other one had gotten hacked, so we launched a brand new YouTube channel under CeCe Peniston. I have my Facebook, the official CeCe Peniston Facebook fan page. I'm on Instagram and Twitter under CeCe Peniston, CeCe_Peniston. And just so you know, on all the social media, I'm the one that answers all the social media.
That is fantastic. And looking forward to having you on the video version. We'll go more in depth, and it'll be like having a cup of coffee, conversation, and bring your pets with you, bring your friends, and looking forward to having you again soon, and keep us up to date. Looking forward to in 2020, CeCe.
Absolutely, I appreciate it.
Thanks for listening to the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagnershow.com. Please support our program with your donations at themikewagnershow.com. Join us again next time for another great episode of The Mike Wagner Show.